Despite the advice from his teammate, he brings it out of the end zone with flags down. Dixon with a good return, a little high step as he gets to the edge. And out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Zachary blocked the kicker, making the tackle along the sidelines, but laundry all over the field.
Kevin, I don't know how long ago it's been since Deion Sanders has retired, but he shows up virtually every game.
It's almost as if YouTube gets a workout for these guys to return kicks.
Oh, that's funny.
Special teams has been up and down for the Buckeyes, to say the least.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the receiving team. Holding, receiving team number 24, that penalty is declined. Holding, return team number 19, that penalty is accepted. Half the distance to the goal. First down and 10, Ohio State.
Dallas Gant called for the penalty that's accepted. And time now for this offense. And Dwayne Haskins Jr. making his way out onto the field for the start. What a start he has had to this season. Haskins enters this day leading the Big Ten in passing yards and passing touchdowns. 1 interception, 11 touchdowns. We were talking with Ryan Day yesterday. He said the thing I've learned about Dwayne Haskins is that no moment is too big for him. It's high praise for a guy just at the beginning of his starting career. Here's Dobbins to start, and Dobbins upended at the 11-yard line by Roderick Teamer. That's a name you'll hear a lot today from Tulane. Roderick Teamer coming up from his safety position. Very sure tackler.
Yeah, Teamer number 2. That's a good player. Solid guy, in control of that defense.
Here's Campbell on the swing. Got a block from Mack on the edge. Breaks the tackle. And Paris Campbell with speed. Nudged out of bounds by Teamer. Just shy of midfield. 35 yards later, Matt.
Yeah, and the one thing you can't do is you can't miss tackles. When you have an opportunity, you've got to make the tackle. This is, especially against Ohio State, they're so explosive.
Dobbins on first down. And Dobbins to the 49. A pickup of 5 for J.K. Dobbins.
Kevin, it won't show up in today's game, but one of the areas that we talked about where they need to improve, Ohio State I'm speaking of, is in that offensive line. They are better than they were than they started the season, but they're still not in complete sync.
2nd and 5, pressure coming. Haskins able to get away, and Haskins gets positive yardage on what was a negative play short of the first down. Let's take a look at today's Auto Owners Insurance impact players, Matt.
Well, it's easy for Ohio State. I mean, Dobbins and Weber is that run game, and they can beat you with power, they can beat you with speed. Teamer and Moody on the other side, they're the most active guys on that Tulane defense, and they'll be overmatched here today.
Buckeyes going a little heavy with 2 tight ends to the right of Haskins. Dixon in motion. They fake the give to Dixon. Dobbins the carry on 3rd and short. And on 3rd and 1, just nudges it across the 44 to get the first down.
Interesting with this offensive line. Now, they're a big group. And when I say big, it's all relative. But they're taller than most offensive lines. This is like 6'5", 6'6" guys. They're not, they have good weight to them, but they're not, like, you don't see like a big musclehead guy out there. You just see more athletic guys.
Haskins, protection again, finds Dixon at the 40. Dixon able to break 1 tackle. Can't slip the Teamer tackle at the 37-yard line. You mentioned those guys along the offensive line as an injured Tulane player at the 38-yard line. They want those guys that are not necessarily big muscle heads. They want the tempo guys that can play with pace.
Right. Yeah, Teamer's down, and that's not good for Tulane. That guy is one of the he's the most active guy on that defense. Plus, he's the guy who controls the back end and the front end. When he walks down as a safety, that kid's a good player.
Well, he's been involved in every play so far. Hopefully okay as he heads to the sideline.
You're going to watch him right there. You see he got kicked in the head by Moody, the other guy who's very active.
2nd and 3. Good protection again for Haskins. KJ Hill with a grab. First down to the 19. 18 more for Haskins through the air.
That's 18 straight vertically, but that's probably about, probably a 30-yard pass, and that ball comes out fast. Haskins, when he has time, he is deadly. Great release.
On first down, Dobbins plowing up the middle to the 14-yard line. Robert Kennedy, all 6'1", 275 pounds of him, carried along by J.K. Dobbins for the final 2 yards.
Kevin, one thing that you really notice when you watch Ohio State is the play calling of Ryan Day. Ryan Day does a great job of keeping you off balance. He mixes in the throws, the intermediate, the deep stuff, and the run game exceptionally well.
Haskins protection again. Over the middle for the end zone. Juggling catch. Paris Campbell. Buckeye touchdown. Sean Nurnberger on for the extra point. 7-0 Buckeyes. How do you make a 9-play, 91-yard drive look easy, just like the Buckeyes did, as Haskins finds Paris Campbell for the 2nd time this year. Took a little bit of hand-eye dexterity, but Campbell able to pull it in.
Bring that thing in. Well done.
Look at Jonathan Banks, quarterback for Tulane, as he goes to work on first down. Banks on the keep, and Banks buried in the backfield by Chase Young. You'll hear that name a lot, taking over for the injured Nick Bosa. Chase Young with the tackle on Jonathan Banks, the senior quarterback for Tulane. Not the start he wanted. And he's had a lot of pressure in his face all year long. Look at the difference in rushing yardage from last year to this year, and a good chunk of that rushing yardage lost because 12 sacks this season. Now that's prior to the 5-yard loss on that carry, and it's 2nd and 15. And on 2nd down, looking for running room, big stiff arm for Bradwell, and Bradwell out to the 32, a 12-yard gain on the play. Tough Portland had a shot at him, but a stiff arm knocked him aside. And Bradwell with 12.
Yeah, this is what you do. You want to be physical. That's a nice stiff arm right to the face, push to the ground. Portland's got to do a better job of striking. It'll take care of that thing.
Third and 3. 32-yard line. 4-man pressure. Banks throws a little bit behind the intended receiver, Onkalad. Coverage from Kendall Sheffield, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, they're going to punt here and get rid of the football. But here's the biggest problem. I'm just going to tell you up front. This offense will be as good as this offensive line is. This offensive line has really struggled. They've really struggled. They've had their problems. And if Ohio State puts pressure on this offensive line, it could get ugly for Tulane.
Ryan Wright to punt. KJ Hill at the 26. Did not call for the fair catch. Reverses his field. Has a block. Hill across the 40 and upended at the 44. Nice return for KJ Hill. 7-0 Buckeyes. Little flavor of Louisiana in the parking lot. That's never a bad thing. I don't know why we weren't invited to that.
I'll give you 2 guesses. Both of them include me.
On first down, it's Weber with the carry, and Weber not going to find much running room out there. Patrick Johnson on the tackle. And it's 2nd down for the Buckeyes. Haskins going up top for Mack, and there's the flag.
Austin Mack. Actually, that was pretty good coverage.
Vicarious Keys on the coverage.
Yeah, Keys is running with them stride for stride. I don't. They tripped. They were hand fighting on the inside, both of them.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 26. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I won't say anything.
You disagree?
People will be happy at home.
41-yard line.
The one thing you could say is he didn't have his eyes back to the football. That would be about it.
Yeah, not playing the ball. 1st and 10 at the 41. That's Berry in motion. That's Weber with the carry. Nice little hop over the blocker. And Weber dodges out of bounds after a 9-yard gain. Lawrence Graham and Tyrese Barge out there to head him off at the sideline.
Mike Weber and KJ Dobbins, both these guys they are physical guys. They're not real tall, but they have excellent speed. They do a great job of bursting when they have an opportunity. They got great toughness.
Swing past Hill with a nice catch on the fingertips and able to get it to the 30-yard line to get the first down. Keys on the stop, and the Buckeyes move the chains. Weber again. Nowhere to go this time. Well defended by Tulane. That's Cameron Sample who was waiting for him as he cut back, a loss of 1.
I think the way to play this Ohio State offensive line is you have to be physical with them. And you have to control line of scrimmage. You can't obviously be going backwards, which they were able to do a little bit on against TCU in the second half. But keep this team more lateral, and your chances of having success are better.
2nd and 11. Haskins in trouble. Gets a couple to the 29, but it's Sample again on the tackle. Well, Dwayne Haskins off to a fantastic start. First 3 games since 2009. This is all of the Big Ten conferences, not just an Ohio State graphic, although it turns out to be just an Ohio State graphic. 13 touchdowns for J.T. Barrett, 12 for Haskins. The Big Ten over the last several years has had some prolific Ohio State quarterback starts. Swing pass to Campbell on 3rd down. Good block from McLaurin. Campbell down the sideline and knocked out inside the 10.
You said it, Camp. The whole thing was McLaurin. That was it. So you're going to have one defender on each. McLaurin takes his guy. He stays behind him. You're going to watch. And he just comes back and makes his block. Really well done. The first defender had fallen down, which made it even easier.
1st and goal at the 10. Weber bouncing outside. Weber to the 5, a flag down behind the play. May have been a hold. Roderick Teamer back out there on the field, able to cut the legs out from Weber at the 5.
Teamer's tough. We have called his name a bunch already.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's Malcolm Pridgeon, first year in a starting role on this Buckeye offensive line.
Yeah, watch Teamer from the end. Oh, here's the hold. Yeah. I can't find him actually right now. There he is. Yeah, that's I would say that's a hold. Usually when your shoulder pads go up over your head, that's a dead giveaway.
Fortunately, you never did that to anybody.
No, that'd be illegal.
Yep. 1st and goal at the 17. Haskins with time over the middle. McLaurin, touchdown! A bullet from Haskins to McLaurin.
A lot of time, Kevin. What it did, McLaurin allowed McLaurin to clear the linebacker. Haskins, he eyeballed him too. He knew where he was going with the ball. As soon as he cleared the backer, it was 6.
Already the 4th touchdown catch of the year for McLaurin. And a 14-0.
Their safeties and corners are playing. If you put a foot in the ground and fake one way, go the other, there's no way they can get there. They're going to be headed in the wrong direction. It was exactly what transpired. McLaurin wide open for that second touchdown, and you know who was there to greet him on the field afterwards.
Well, and you know who's going to be a head coach somewhere soon, and that's Ryan Day. Really, really sharp coach. And the slide to the 31-yard line for Jonathan Banks ends that play. So we take a look at today's Auto Owners Insurance impact players on this side of the ball.
Well, you're going to take a good look at it. Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver on the outside. You're going to need some help from that offensive line to get him time to throw. But Corey Delphine, he's got some great speed, Kevin. You can get him to the outside. Draymond Jones and Fuller, mainstays. Draymond Jones, what a great game he had last week against TCU.
2nd down and 4. This is Hudderson. Chase Young on the stop of the 33. 2-yard pickup for Stephon Hudderson, sophomore out of Petal, Mississippi.
Sets up this 3rd and very manageable. This is exactly where Tulane wants to be. They believe that in this particular situation, you can use the feet of the quarterback and the RPO thing. You know, they're really, Kevin, this is really a triple option team. And if you give them the options in a situation like this, they feel confident and able to get the yardage necessary.
On 3rd down and 2, there's the option play. Banks with the keep. And Banks has the first down to the 36-yard line. They like his feet, they like his size, 6'2", 230 pounds.
Oh, he has good movement as well. And so when you're defending a team like this, it really becomes assignment football. And so one guy's assigned to the quarterback, one guy's assigned to the pitch man, one guy's assigned to the dive man. You saw that earlier. That's Greg Schiano, defensive coordinator Greg Schiano. He was a little nervous about that just because you don't see it very often.
Dauphine, the running back.
Good speed. Get him in space.
Former Texas State champion sprinter. Off play action. Quick toss. And there's the top receiver on this Tulane squad, Darnell Mooney, with his first catch. Tonight on BTN, Brian Lewerke and the 24th-ranked Spartans hit the road to Bloomington to battle the Hoosiers for the old brass spittoon. Coverage begins tonight, 7:30 Eastern, right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. Indiana, of course, off to a terrific start this season. Big win over Virginia earlier in the year. Should be a good battle tonight. They will be in Columbus 2 weeks out. 1st and 10 from the 49. Banks on the roll, looking to the sideline. That pass incomplete, intended for Onkalad, with Jordan Fuller out there on the coverage.
Willie Fritz, the head coach of this Tulane Green Wave team, understands his team pretty well. And so I like the way they're calling the game right now. He understands he's a prop up front with this offensive line versus this defensive front. So he's mixing it up. So he's using the quarterback's feet. Now he'll move the pocket, so he'll roll one way or the other, and then the ball comes out quick because he knows he's not going to have a lot of time. A lot of 3 steps.
The 4th running back of the drive on the field, Amari Jones off the play fake and the intended pass to Onkalad. Now there's a flag that looked like Draymond Jones was in the neutral zone.
Yeah, he didn't even attempt to get back. He just stayed there like nobody saw him.
Well, if you're there, maybe you just sort of coax everybody.
Quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Offside. Defense number 86. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
He's mastered the art of standing so still that no one can see him. He's become invisible.
Yeah, my granddaughter does that sometimes. Draymond, look, after the game he played, was a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week this week. The game he played, you're going to notice him. You're going to notice him when he walks onto the field because that's a guy you have to block.
Amari Jones in the Wildcat, or the Wild Wave, taking the snap.
As the triple option right there.
And Jones gets drilled by Isaiah Pryor. Drove right through it.
That's the assignment football we're talking about. So this is essentially a triple option. You're going to watch it. He's going to come down the line. The assignment comes inside out, and that is a great hit. See how they took the pitch away from the outside man. Somebody already had the dive man, and Isaiah came in and made sure the quarterback was taken.
Greg Schiano told us yesterday that today was a big day for Isaiah Pryor to show his progress in that other safety spot opposite Jordan Fuller. It's a good start. 3rd and 6. Banks on the roll in trouble. And Banks is sacked. It's Baron Browning with his first sack of the year.
They tried to roll out to give Banks the advantage of the space, and then he could use his eyes and his feet. But he didn't count on Baron Browning's own speed. Watch him come from inside out. He just runs him down. That's just good defense. Good speed defense all the way, and Urban's happy with that.
Willie Fritz, the head coach of Tulane, probably not thrilled that his quarterback didn't dump that ball out of bounds and avoid the big loss on the play.
Yeah, he was outside the box. He should have been able to just
Tulane.
dump it.
Their first
Timeout taken by Tulane. Quick step aside for us as well, and come over and get a call or get a confirmation without any hesitation. He said, I like the angle calling it from down there. I was surprised by that. Dobbins working up the sideline, a first down to the 28-yard.
Yeah, that's not surprising. So you get a different vibe on the sidelines than you do up in the booth. Up in the booth, you see the big picture. You see all 22, and you see kind of like the X and O stuff. But when you're down on the field, you get
Kevin
the feel.
Wilson who's helping him out up there.
Right, and you have somebody upstairs who you can trust his eyes, and he does trust Kevin Wilson's eyes.
Harris Campbell on the sweep, and Campbell caught at the 34-yard line. It's a terrific tandem to have a guy with the experience of Kevin Wilson up in the booth, and then Ryan Day on the field. And we had a really candid conversation, what we have every time we've been here with Coach Day, and he said, you know, you asked him, what have you taken from these 3 weeks? And he said, I've learned that I could be a head coach.
Yeah, which is a big deal, because being a head coach is not being a position coach. It's not X's and O's. It's really a CEO. You have to be able to have everybody. You really coach the coaches. That's what you do.
Here's Dobbins. Good cutback. Steps through a tackle and tripped up as he gets to the 44. 10-yard pickup. Keys got him around the ankles. Well, Ryan Day did a terrific endorsement from his current head coach, Urban Meyer, who had praise to spare for the job Ryan Day has done to start off this season. Said he's a detailed guy, and that goes to your point. You've got to be aware of all of the details.
It's a mindset, Kev. It's a little bit different. Greg Schiano is the same way. So he has a feel and understanding of this defense. Kevin Wilson's the same way. They've been in that seat. They understand it.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 35. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's Lawrence Graham with the face mask, giving 15 more to Ohio State.
I think the bigger piece right there for Ryan Day as a play caller is that he learned you're going to see the face mask down at the bottom of his left hand. Is the piece that he understands, that the vibe that he gets on the field. What do I mean by that? You get a feel for your players. You get a feel, you can hear the conversations. You're around them and they know the guy they're playing against, if they can handle things, if they can handle them. And you take that as a play caller, and it becomes another piece of the puzzle when you're making those calls.
Haskins, good protection again. First real misfire for Haskins. 9 for 9 before that incompletion.
I like the way he's calling this game, though. I mean, I love the way they use their speed. So intermediate, like right here, so you can take a shot to the end zone with speed down the field, or you can use it across the field. I love that. And usually when you look at Ohio State, they always have a crosser. Somebody with good speed coming all the way across underneath.
Haskins looked at the swing, wanted to go back for a screen, but that was red. He'll just dump that one away, incomplete, and there's a flag. Now, the screen was red, but it may have been red and then tackled.
It was.
Dobbins got dropped as Haskins broke out looking for that.
And Austin Mack got drilled. He got drilled. He was going to be the crosser, and he got drilled.
Now, a second flag was just dropped a moment ago.
Yeah.
There are 2 fouls on the team, one against each team. Intentional grounding, offense number 7. Though he was out of the tackle box, the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Good call.
Holding, defense number 35. Those penalties offset. Second down.
So he's got to be outside the tackle box, which is essentially here to here. So he'll get outside there, and he's fine. Now the ball has to get to the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't. It's clearly short. But on the at or near the line of scrimmage. Near is relative. but it wasn't near enough.
So it's 2nd down and 10 at the 37. Good protection again. Haskins going up top. He's got Campbell, and Campbell pulls it in. Did he get the foot down? He did. Touchdown.
Did he have control? That's what you have to have. And then get the foot down. Looked like a tiny little bobble, but I believe from this angle, it looked like he had it in. Nice throw. Haskins, perfect throw. Right where it needed to be. Here we go. No control, no control, no control, control.
1 foot's all you need.
That's it.
5th touchdown pass of 30 yards or more this year for Haskins. 2nd drive of 90 yards or more in the 1st quarter for Ohio State. Flag down. We'll sort that out here.
Paris Campbell next year
Holding.
will have to have both feet
Kicking
in.
team number 13. 10-yard penalty. Replay the try.
So another opportunity for the kick. Haskins with the touchdown pass. 3
Nice
in the
throw.
1st quarter.
Really nice throw, Kev. That was a dime, man. He just dropped it right in there.
Campbell 5 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Good quarter for Paris Campbell. We ran into him yesterday.
Yeah.
He was carrying a suit, probably for today.
Did you notice how I covered him man-to-man right there?
Extra point is good. And it's 21-0 Ohio State. Now let's take a look at this message from ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire, and the official agrees to the broken tackle, and that's a 1st down for Darius Bradwell. 12-yard pickup on the play to the 37. He broke the tackle of Baron Browning and was able to get the chains moved here.
Kev, you know, listening to our pregame show, Jared Gennaro made a really good point. And what he was talking about was discipline of scheme and run fits. And right now, the 2nd level, that's usually where they happen. With this linebacking crew from Ohio State, they're young, they make a lot of mistakes. Same thing that happens at Penn State last night. So both those teams have good skills. They just don't have enough discipline yet to be where they're going to be.
Tim back next week as Tolles gets a 1st down to midfield, but those are 2 really big parts of that defensive line, Matt. Nick Bosa certainly out longer than Robert Landers. He had surgery out indefinitely to repair a core muscle injury and was off to arguably the best start of any defensive player in college football.
Yeah, he's probably the best defensive player in college football. I mean, he's not playing right now. And the guys behind him aren't that far behind, Kev, and it's because of the watchful eye of Larry Johnson. That guy is really good.
Movement up front. Flag comes in. Free play. Banks trying to take advantage. One-on-one coverage on the sideline. Intercepted by Okudah.
Great close by Okudah. Kevin, you don't see this all the time. Ball's in the air. Usually the receiver will go get the ball. Okudah did exactly what a receiver does.
Defense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
All right, I think we can make this a BTN standout anyway, presented by Auto Owners Insurance, because, I mean, even though it doesn't count, it's still a really good play.
Oh, this is picture perfect. Let's go back and show that again, Bart. Look, he turns when the ball's in the air. He's watching the receiver the whole time. When the receiver looks, watch when the receiver looks. Right now he looks. That is picture perfect. That is A+.
Banks on the keep. He's got the 1st down. Turf trips him up at the 39-yard line.
How does I put that in the books? How do you do that? We have Banks tackled by Banks.
Banks by Banks. A Banks tackle.
Tackled by the 41-yard line.
See, if I were responsible for plays like that, I'd put a good friend of mine. Somebody in there, or maybe our producer, Bart Fox, with the tackle.
That tackle by Phil Malika.
Another Jersey guy making a tackle.
All the time. Don Bosco Prep can't beat him.
A low snap. Banks is in trouble, and he's buried. Boy, no chance at all. Jonathan Cooper drops him at the 46 after the problem on the snap from Corey Dublin, the center.
Well, we said at the start, this team will do as well as this offensive line does. That's not well when you're snapping it into the ground. Banks got some game. You know, you give this guy some time, he can beat you with his feet and his arm. Pretty accurate. I like him.
Former 4-star recruit that started his career at Kansas State. 2nd and 17 at the 46. Pressure coming and good coverage, but there's a flag.
Yeah,
Damon Arnett had a hold of Onkalon.
See, so what they're really doing, they're getting, because they know they can't handle the pressure. So they're getting rid of the ball on 3-step drops all the time. Boom, as fast as you can, or they're trying to roll them out.
Pass interference. Defense number 3. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So all they're doing is trying to gain position, and the quarterback is going to throw it to the inside with your defender sitting on your outside hip. And you can see, you know, he had him by the neck the whole time. They're going to make that call every time.
So 1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line.
I still like the way Fritz is calling this game.
Motion from Will Wallace, freshman tight end. And flags fly, play clock down to 0.
False start. Offense number 52. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, here's what they're missing without Nick Bosa. His career, 29 tackles for loss, 17.5 sacks, 4 of those already this year, 2 forced fumbles, and 6 straight games with a sack. I mean, it's a loss like that for most teams, Matt, would absolutely cripple what they wanted to do defensively. Ohio State is loaded with talent. They may be one of 3 or 4 teams in the country that could withstand a loss like that over the course of the long haul. That's not to say they won't miss Nick Bosa, but they do have some players who can at least try to fill his shoes, maybe unlike some other programs.
And let me give you a little perspective, Kevin. So you see those numbers, and there are guys who have better numbers, but there aren't guys who have better numbers who are getting chipped every play or doubled every time or rolling away from them all the time. I mean, opposing teams are doing whatever they could, understanding where Nick Bosa was all the time.
2nd down, 15. Off play action, bodies flying all over the place. Banks able to break free and just tripped up at the 39 by Tommy Togiai. So here's some of those guys that'll fill that void. Chase Young, we've seen him active already today. Jonathan Cooper, Jayshon Cornell, the 3 top guys that'll be in there. But now some young guys starting to factor in. Tyreek Smith, number 11 on the field now. The freshman, true freshman for Ohio State.
Let me say this, they all have good skill sets. They just need to refine themselves, like what we should.
Back for a loss of 1.
Good read by Browning. When you're down close to the goal line like that, you need to get a little bit of depth. You get the depth and you stay as deep as the runner. That way, if they shift or move or do anything, you have the movement to be able, and the space to be able to do the same thing. Browning that time read it perfectly, filled the gap, and sets up this 2nd down.
Just the 6th time this year Tulane's taken snaps in the red zone. And on 2nd and goal, looking for running room up the middle, reaching across the goal line, Bradwell with a touchdown. Only the 6th time the Buckeyes have allowed anyone into the red zone. But Tulane able to get in not only to the red zone and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, he just lowers his pads right here and just runs through whatever's in front of him. Yeah, that's just good power by Bradwell.
That is a touchdown. Darius Bradwell played hurt through the first 2 games for Tulane. Came back last week at 90.
But when you run out of flag, you throw hat.
What happens if you throw a flag and a hat? I mean, you did referee school.
Yeah.
What do you throw after that?
If the guy's standing next to you. I mean, if he's heavy, if he's too heavy, you just push him.
Shoes? Shirts? I mean, there's the hatless back judge.
That was a lot of fun. I was
doing ref school?
Yeah, when I did when I was an umpire. And I did that for a few games and had a lot of fun.
Called a lot of holds. I was very disappointed with that. Still sorting this out. The hat's got them all confused right now.
Yeah, guaranteed.
You know, the flag has the weighted thing in it, so it can go in the general direction of where the penalty occurred, but the hat's just going to float.
I was just surprised there's no head in the hat. Usually what happens.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever actually
Guy
seen
lost his
that.
head.
Offside on the kicking team. Number 38. Holding on the return team. Number 19. The penalty's offset. Will we re-kick the ball?
Well, while they line up to re-kick, you know what's wonderful is that we have Dean Blandino with us in our studios. He is, of course, our rules expert, but he's also an expert on what you throw when you don't have a flag and when you don't have a hat. So, Dean, what do you throw?
Yeah, there's a very little known section of the rule book that goes through kind of like triage what you throw first. So it's flag, then hat, then beanbag, then watch, whistle, and then lastly it's a shoe.
I thought it was a fit. Don't you throw a fit in there someplace, Dean?
Yeah, you could do that. That's on the list too.
I so want to, Dean, thanks. I so want to get into a game where they're throwing watches and shoes. Oh my goodness.
I'd steal that watch.
Yes, you would. That's a live ball picked up on a bounce at the 25-yard line, trying to find a little bit of running room is C.J. Saunders, and he's down at the 34.
I never knew that you'd go to a watch.
Or a shoe. Flags all over the place again. Unfortunately, it's just flags. No shoes, no watches.
Bean bags.
No bean bags.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, return team number 81, 15-yard penalty, first down and 10, Ohio State. That's number 81's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of the ball game.
Jake Hausman called for the unsportsmanlike conduct as we check in with Rick Pizzo.
Kevin, when Dwayne Haskins left the field after Ohio State's last drive and his third touchdown pass, he was actually frustrated, mad at himself for the intentional grounding call and for a throw he had missed earlier in the drive. That's actually a welcome sight for Ryan Day, who told us Haskins is so calm, it makes him nervous sometimes. Perhaps that ice water in his veins is just normalizing his temperature, which is so red hot from his arm.
Very well could be, Rick, as Weber's down across the 20-yard line in the arms of Tyrese Barge.
That's what that is. That's his competitiveness. He wants to be right all the time. You get guys like that who are seeking that perfection, usually get an outstanding effort.
You get the first three drives, all resulting in touchdowns. Second and 8 at the 21. Haskins with time again. Hill on the cross. Hill across the 30 and down at the 34 with a first down. 13 yards on the play. Zachary Harris on the stop.
Really nice job by this offensive line. You got Munford, the left tackle, doing an excellent job inside. You got Pridgeon, you got Jordan at center, Taylor, the other guard, Isaiah Prince, all those guys. And Haskins is sitting back there, not even getting sniffed.
Tyrese Barge was showing a little bit of a blitz as Haskins crept up to the line. Looks like he's coming to the bottom of the screen. They'll go the other direction to Weber. And Weber with a first down and a pickup of 10. All right, let's test your knowledge with today's Aflac game trivia. Who holds the Ohio State single-season passing yards record? By the end of this season, the answer may change. Maybe Dwayne Haskins, the way he started the year. It's not, though. Answer coming up. First and 10 at the 44. Weber, patient to the edge, nudged down at the 49 by Lewis.
Timeout for an injured player.
Weber dinged up on the sideline. Boy, you hate to see that if you're a Buckeye fan. That 1-2 punch at running back has been so effective in the early going. Just over 2,000 yards in his career last week against TCU.
He rolled up on it. Yep. Right at the end as he's falling, you're going to watch him roll up on that back calf right there.
Yep. Donnie Lewis rolled up on him. As he's walked to the sideline, the limp has become less pronounced.
Yeah, usually what happens.
Let's check in with Rick Pizzo.
Guys, I noticed during warmups that Mike Weber was not a full participant. He was somewhat limited. He left warmups at one point to go into the locker room, got some type of treatment, and came back out. Was walking with a very slight limp on that leg that could have been an aggravation of what was bothering him pregame.
All right, Rick, thanks very much. Good eyes in the pregame. As Dobbins will take over, reversing his field and upended at the 44. That's a first down.
Who made the tackle?
Roderick Teamer.
There's a shock.
Yeah.
Teamer has been all over the place in this first half. He plays that safety position. He's usually one high, meaning all by himself in the middle of the field. And this time they're kicking out over the top.
From the 44, here's Campbell. Got a block from Victor. Broken tackle. Campbell with extra yardage. He's down at the 31-yard line as Hall forced him out of bounds. Had it been flag football, he'd have been down at the 39 because the towel came off his waist.
That is
that's
nice.
not a
The
towel.
old tearaways right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Haven't seen them since the 70s. Danny Davis, University of Houston.
Down the sideline, Victor wide open. He'll walk in for 6.
Low coverage.
First touchdown grab of the year for Benjamin Victor. The 11th throw of 10 or more yards today for Dwayne Haskins.
A lot of time to throw again, Kevin. This offensive line. Yeah, I think I saw him reading a book back there. I couldn't tell if it was Tolstoy or not.
Getting some help from the stands.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Goalposts are off, sir.
Yep, get him over there a little bit. Oh, he was right. Look at that, right down the middle.
It was good through both of them. 28-6. Ohio State. Urban Meyer's team going back to the old tearaways.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Harris Campbell. Ripping them. Fair catch called for and made again by Tulane. Out to the 25. Back to the touchdown by Benjamin Victor.
Yeah, I want to show you exactly why this happens. So there's lots of reasons. So Paris Campbell's on the inside. He's going to drop back. And then the defender's going to come down. And because of all the number of defenders that are there, he's just going to come right back outside this way. And there's going to be a collision inside. And so that's part of the design of the play. Watch Paris Campbell there. They know he's going to get the ball. So you see how Teamer comes up and in his so doing bumps off the coverage, and it's 6 quick.
Keys was the bumper or bumpy in that scenario.
He was one of them. Haskins was the beneficiary.
Bradwell to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 5. Warner on the tackle, and it's second down. This is what Tulane feared coming in here to Columbus, Ohio today, that Buckeyes would jump out quickly and not look back, and that's been exactly what's happened in this first half.
I mean, look, Kevin, let's be honest here. There is a disparity between the talent levels on each team. This is expected of Ohio State. This is what they should be doing.
Onkelad back on the field in motion. On the swing, Onkelad going nowhere. Jordan Fuller read that beautifully. A loss of 1 back to the 29. Next Saturday, BTN Tailgate heads to Lincoln as Dave, Jerry, Howard, Spice, and Michelle set the scene for the Huskers and Boilers and get you ready for a busy day around the conference. BTN Tailgate presented by T-Mobile next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on BTN. They'll be in Columbus in a couple of weeks for the Indiana game. Third and 6 at the 29. And flags fly. 3rd and 11 coming up. Referee has had a lot of practice today in opening his mic and letting us know what was going on, but he missed the switch on that one. Maybe he threw his microphone.
There you go.
Dean Blandino didn't mention anything about that being on the list of things to throw.
I'm surprised you have to throw your watch.
What if it's a family heirloom? And now movement up front. Again.
False start. Offense. Number 52. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That's Dominique Briggs, who is playing his 5th spot in 4 years. He's played right guard, right tackle, left guard, center, and defensive line. Came in last year from Coffeyville Community College. Bounced from the D-line to the O-line there, and then has hopped around the O-line at Tulane. He's the left guard this season for the Green Wave. 3rd and 16. And nothing doing. Draymond Jones, who had such a huge game against TCU, comes up to make the play in the backfield on Amari Jones.
Yeah, they move these guys around. You're going to see them up here, right here. Draymond Jones had a monster night against TCU. And this time, you know, they just didn't block him. And that what would call head coach Fritzy over there to throw his helmet or hat or whatever is in his hands. At least give yourself a fighting chance.
6 tackles for loss already for Ohio State. Pressure coming, got rid of it. KJ Hill at the 39. And Hill not going too far. Good coverage downfield by Tulane, just a 1-yard. I saw Tate Martell a couple weeks ago against Rutgers, Matt. 10 for 10 in that game. And this is something Ryan Day talked with us about yesterday. Wanted to get Tate Martell into this one. Wanted to see if he could pick up where he left off. Dobbins trying to fight for yardage, gets a couple to the 38-yard line.
The more you play the young players, the more confident they get. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch them grow. And it's amazing to see how their vision starts to expand and things start to slow down and the decision making gets better, and it's really fun. That's a part of coaching that you love.
You saw it on that first carry, but Tate Martell's short area quickness is just off the charts. Pressure coming, unloaded it to Hill. KJ Hill stepping through a tackle and out of bounds at the 15. 23 more from Martell to Hill.
His release ain't too shabby either. No. Again, lots of time to throw. So you're looking across the field. You have all day to be able to make this, and he just finds Hill in stride. Perfect throw.
From the 14 on play action, Martell floating it for Mack. Almost intercepted, one arm by Keys. Looking for Austin Mack in the corner.
Nicely done. Nicely done by Keys. Understanding he's out there by himself. It's one-on-one. He's going to stay on top of the coverage. Now, as a receiver, with Mack, he does a good job of turning into a defender.
Just the 2nd incompletion this year for Martell.
What a slacker.
Jeremy Ruckert, the freshman tight end, was in motion. Dobbins turns upfield and down to the 8-yard line.
That was nice by J.K. See how he starts? He's starting lateral, and when he sees that cut back to the inside, when he sees the hole, he just sticks his left foot in the ground, and boom, you get up the field. That's what you like to see.
3rd and 4. Dobbins again. Dobbins dives, touchdown.
Michael Jordan just puts somebody on their back, and then he's, it's not even close. That's a great move and a great leap there for J.K. Dobbins. Michael Jordan, their center, just put somebody on his back.
Dobbins finishing it off with the 8-yard touchdown run. A flag is down on the extra point. 3:31 remaining in this first half.
Holding. Kicking team number 13. 10-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Rashad Berry with the flag. I'm not sure TV, though, does J.K. Dobbins justice, Matt. You and I were chatting with him yesterday on the practice field, and he is just so...
Great kid.
Oh, my gosh, and so compactly built. He's so strong.
Oh, yeah.
He's the biggest 5'10" guy you're ever going to meet. And just like a block of iron walking around. Extra point is good.
Excellent running back. They've got two that we know of.
Right.
There's more behind
Master
them.
Teague, Brian Snead. We'll see both of those guys today. 360 to 96. The yardage so far in favor of the Buckeyes. Jones on the sweep. And nowhere to go. Bradwell took the direct snap, the running back, and he handed off to one of his running back mates, Amari Jones, and a loss of one. And the Buckeyes used a timeout. 3:23 remaining in the half. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout with Ohio State. Little Rapid costume today. Okay. Grasping for the tie-in, not seeing it, moving on. Second down and 11. Banks, the option pitch to the edge, and just tripped up is Onkalad by Okuda.
Pretty good play, that Onkalad. He's got run skills, runs pretty good routes. Saw him down the field making plays, can track the ball well. That's a good football player.
Jeffrey Okuda, we've seen him make a terrific interception that it did not count. Makes the tackle there on the edge. The sophomore out of Grand Prairie, Texas. Going to see some significant playing time today. 3rd and 4, the 31, and into the backfield is Devon Hamilton. Dauphine had nowhere to go.
Devon Hamilton just beat, that's right off the snap. That's just
Timeout. Ohio State. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
We'll stay right here. Devon Hamilton, Urban Meyer said, is one of the most improved guys on this defense.
Yeah, see how they ran that little slant? Just that quick inside move and then back outside. That's as good as it, and they're running a blitz, so that's a slant. The defensive line are slanting. The linebackers go the other way and they bring the corner. It's a hot corner.
So if Hamilton doesn't get him, Okuda likely does. He's in the backfield. Next week, a great slate of Big Ten football comes your way with a doubleheader on BTN. Michigan State in action on FS1 and the Wolverines against the Wildcats on Fox. It's all next week on BTN, FS1 and Fox, and watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
Kevin, when you see a small stunt like that, you can see good coaching.
His leadership was on full display throughout the facility over there for the Buckeyes, and he said, I always tell him he should run for office someday. He's just that kind of guy. And there's Mack with his second catch of the possession, and that's a first down to the 45-yard line.
And that's why he'll be playing at a theater near you on Sundays. You see how he came back to that ball? That was a well-thrown ball, but it was exceptionally defended. But Mack came back to it and made the completion.
First down, Campbell with the catch. Good job by C.J. Saunders, who started to get driven back, Matt, and was able to reestablish his position and get forward to keep that block secure.
And all he had to do is just stay between he and the ball carrier, and then you gain some ground. This is just, Kevin, there's so many small things that you watch. It's the details. It's just good coaching. And they're well-versed in a smart football.
3 receivers will line up for Urban Meyer's troops to the top of the screen, emptying out the backfield with a bear to the bottom of the screen. And a timeout taken by Tulane.
Timeout. Tulane. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
1:52 remaining in this first half. And a dominant performance so far by the Buckeyes of Ohio State. I mean, this team, Matt, we knew coming in, this was an awfully good squad. They've been tested in this non-conference season last week with TCU, one of the better out-of-conference wins for any team in college football this year. So with that proof, and then next week, Penn State on the resumption of conference play, doesn't look to me at all like Ohio State's looking ahead. They're taking care of business today.
Yeah, so they get all that part. So what you're seeing is the maturation of a team. It's a young team. It still makes young mistakes, but it's a talented group. And I think what happened last week at TCU served them well. So what it really did, it kind of solidified what they're doing. They'll stay with the things we're doing. They work. That's important to learn.
2nd down and 3. Haskins pressured late from Patrick Johnston, and that forced the overthrow, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. One of the rare times we've seen pressure applied by Tulane.
Under pressure. Finally got some hits.
You know, it's always amazed me why more 70s and 80s bands, when they needed a drum machine, didn't contact Matt Millen.
I don't understand it either. Jeez.
It's always hope, kids. If you got a garage band, I got a partner who can play a mean set of drums. 3rd and 3.
Oh, man. I got to show you something.
Haskins is stopped short of the 1st down at the 39. It's going to involve Robert Kennedy and Isaiah Prince, I believe.
Isaiah Prince just leveled Kennedy. I mean, leveled them. I mean, all clean. But this is just pure power in football. This is a nice headbutt. Watch this thing right here. Watch Isaiah Prince. He's going to take on this guy. Okay, here he comes. Boom. And then I'll spike you on top of it. That is some good physical football. There's only one thing you can do as a defender, and that's get up and go drill him.
Yeah, he couldn't get up.
No, not there.
Because then 310 pounds came crashing onto his back. I mean, I shouldn't speak for others, but I know I would not be able to get up after that.
Isaiah Prince, you know, he's had kind of up and down, like he's been playing for a long time.
Yep.
He's playing his best football now, which is what he should be doing. And so he's the leader of that group. He's the guy they look forward to in practices and stuff when things are slowing down. He gets everybody back going again. He tries to play physical, as you just saw. He's turned into a really good right tackle. It's a young offensive line, but they're taking his leadership well.
And it was not an easy path for Isaiah Prince. You remember a couple of years ago in 2016, as a sophomore, really struggled on that offensive line. And there are some places in college football where fans notice offensive line play more than they do others. This is one of the places where fans pay attention to offensive line play. And it was not an easy year for Isaiah Prince. Had a nice bounce back year last year and is off to a good start this season on the right side of that offensive line. And good to see Robert Kennedy up and heading to the sidelines in good shape. Well, weeknights, BTN's Insiders bring you the latest news from around the conference, discuss college football's major storylines, and tell you what to watch for in the nation's most important matchups. Big Ten football and beyond weeknights right here on BTN.
Rarely do you see that kind of physicality in the offensive line anymore. The game's really turned into a pushing game. Get your hands on them, push around. Isaiah Prince, he just lowered the boom on.
4th and 4, Buckeyes will go for it. 1:25 and counting to play in this first half. Haskins.
Oh, kid walking if he wanted to.
Caught at the 30-yard line. 1st down, Benjamin Victor.
Well done by Victor coming back to the ball. And then see how he catches the ball extended away from his body, using his hands all the way in.
On 1st down, the hurry up. Haskins a little bit too tall. Pressure came again on Dwayne Haskins, this time from Lawrence Graham.
Yeah, I want to go back and show you the difference in a catch, okay? Watch Benjamin Victor. Watch him come back to the ball. Now watch him reach all the way outside the body, okay, right there. So what that does, there's the defender who's really on top of you, but because of your reach and your wingspan, you can catch it out in front of your body and ensure the catch.
Haskins 19 of 22, 274 yards, 4 touchdowns.
In the first half.
In the first half, and he didn't play a series. Second down. Haskins on the move, throws. Campbell, a little pitter-pat on the sidelines, and a first down.
Paris Campbell's had a big first half here as well. Had a couple of touchdowns, but he's been the recipient of Haskins' excellent release. That's the one thing you notice right away with Dwayne Haskins. That ball comes out, and it comes out fast.
8th catch in this first half for Paris Campbell for 147 yards. Haskins to Mack in the end zone. Touchdown! Number 5 for number 7.
Kevin, this has to be a BTN standout.
I'll talk with our people.
This is, your peeps call my peeps, and we'll get this thing straightened out.
Do any of our peeps have anything to do with the BTN standout designation?
Probably not, but it doesn't matter. That was a phenomenal catch. I love the way Mack, kinesthetic sense, all body part awareness, he came back and made that catch.
Career high 5th touchdown pass for Dwayne Haskins. Extra point, good. 42-6, Ohio State. I've just been informed, Matt Millen, that it has been approved by the committee of 9. It is a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
Look at that. Look at that. That is in midair. Watch him as he turns his body. That is a thing of beauty. Great concentration. Comes down. That's a great catch.
Well, Haskins had no choice, Matt, to find Mack for a touchdown. You know, they're roommates. And if Mack gets home tonight and Haskins has distributed all these touchdown passes and none to him, a very uncomfortable apartment over the next couple days. But now all is well. The roommates hook up. 42-6, Ohio State. What a day for Dwayne Haskins. 304 yards in the first half.
Kevin, I saw that little piece with Dwayne Haskins when he was a little guy saying he was going to play at Ohio State. He's going to be a quarterback. And I thought it was awesome.
Turned out to be the case as the kickoff will go into the end zone for the touchback. Dwayne Haskins' 3rd 300-yard game of the season. Had a career-high 344 last week. The Big Ten's leader in passing yards and passing touchdowns is doing nothing to take away from that leadership going back into conference play next week.
That time he didn't get pressure, but he did buy some extra time by rolling out to the right. Throws the ball on the run as well as he does from the pocket. Sees the field. Great release like we talked about. This kid's got it, and he's only going to get better.
From the 25 on first down, and down is Hutterson. At the 29, Tyler Friday, freshman out of New Jersey. Don Bosco prep product on the field to make the tackle.
If Rutgers could keep all the New Jersey guys, they'd be phenomenal.
Tyler Friday. We were asking Greg Schiano about him yesterday. I said, how would you describe him? He says, he's heavy-handed and he is strong. Expects to see a lot of Friday and Tyreek Smith in the second half along that defensive line. Banks on the keep, and Banks run out of bounds at the 42-yard line by Isaiah Pryor. Tulane won the toss and elected to defer, so they're going to have the football to start the second half. Banks with 10 seconds left in this first half. Dauphine met, dropped at the 46 by Damon Arnett. And that will be the final play of a dominant first half for the home team.
The end of the first quarter, the first half.
Public address announcer felt like it was still the first quarter. For Tulane's sake, they're happy it's not. It is halftime, and it's 42 to...
Stay out of everybody's way and ask Ryan, how's that going? Ryan gave me a very wry smile and simply laughed all the way to the sideline saying, awesome. Coach is awesome. Guys, we knew Ryan Day was smart. Now we know he's really smart.
A+ smart.
It's funny.
Now they're starting at the 9. As he fielded it, he had a knee down. So not the fair catch, but the knee. And Banks is going the wrong direction. Buried back near the 2 by Cornell. So it goes from bad to worse for Tulane to start this second half. And they've got 2nd and a mile from their own 2-yard line.
Well, Sean Cornell, he tried to fake him out there on about the 3, and all he did was lose another yard. Cornell, this is that young group we're talking about. There's more depth back there. They've got excellent skill. They just need to play.
2nd and 17. Banks on the keep. Good job by Banks with the fake, and Banks gets it out to the 11-yard line. Pick up on the play of 9.
Helmet comes off, so he's got to go out.
Helmet came off during play. He must go off for one play.
And that begs the question as to who will come in for him as the backup. And it is the transfer from LSU, Justin McMillan. He's a graduate transfer, came in just 3 days before camp began. Left-hander comes in on 3rd and 8.
It's going to be good.
With a name like McMillan?
Ohio State.
Yep.
They're first of the half.
So the Buckeyes take the
timeout.
but this Buckeye defense hasn't needed many timeouts today because they have been really on top of things.
Well, in every phase of the game. So if you're talking about the speed game, Chase Young is going to run them right down. About big hits. They were there all day long. They couldn't run away from the speed of this Ohio State defense. And then, of course, interior line play is where they excel, both in the run game and in the passing game. So everywhere they've tried to go today, this Tulane offense has been just stuffed by Greg Schiano's defense.
9 tackles for loss.
Greg Schiano right there, the D coordinator. That's a really good coach. Really good coach.
The staff is just loaded. We talk about the roster being loaded.
Yeah.
Kevin Wilson, former head coach. Greg Schiano, former head coach. Urban Meyer, of course, the head coach. Ryan Day, going to be a head coach.
Yep. And there's others there that we don't, they're just younger guys that'll
guys like Larry Johnson, who have been
Larry could
great
be a
high
head
school
coach.
coaches and terrific position coaches for a long time. Good throw and good catch by Mooney. That's a first down.
Yeah. Good coverage, but he led him perfectly and basically threw him open because the corner was right on top of him.
So McMillan's going to stay in the game right now. Remember, Banks left because the helmet popped off. Banks, the only established quarterback on this roster. McMillan left LSU after former Buckeye quarterback Joe Burrow won the quarterback competition for the Tigers. Hutterson trying to find room up the middle, gets to the 25. Browning on the stop. McMillan's an interesting project for Willie Fritz and Tulane. He's got 2 years of eligibility this year and next. Highly touted quarterback when he came out of high school in Texas. 2nd and 7 at the 24. Play action, pressure coming. He's in trouble and he's sacked. Wint and Booker combine on the stop. Jawson Wint got there first, and Booker finished him up.
And they're fortunate. This Ohio State defense is fortunate because they blew the coverage behind it. But he had no time to be able to make this throw. Had he had time, right in the middle of the field, going across the middle, wide open, he had a receiver.
Third and 19. McMillan in trouble again, and McMillan buried by Dante Booker. Back-to-back terrific plays by the senior from Akron.
Simon football. You're going to see him in the top far right of your screen, number 52. Way up top. See him right up here. All he's going to do is he knows who he has, so you just stay on him. That's eye discipline. Know who you have, know and do your job. That's a mantra that's been preached a long time, and he did it well.
Greg Schiano's going to be thrilled with the execution by Booker on that play.
Yep.
It's a big stressor that he had for us when he was talking with us. C.J. Saunders awaiting the punt. From the 49, Saunders down at the 40. Short field, though, for the Buckeyes.
Flag down.
43-yard punt, a 3-yard return. The flag at the 25-yard line.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Return team.
Check
Number 47, 15-yard penalty, first down and 10. That is first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of the ball game. Full media timeout.
Justin Hilliard with the unsportsmanlike conduct. Tyree and McCall got hit hard at the 45-yard line. Almost a surprised reaction on the hit from Chase Kirshen.
He caught him in the middle of a cut. Usually that's what happens.
Bartell on the keep. And Bartell a little tossed C.J. Saunders. And Saunders down to the 42. Line of scrimmage was the 45-yard line.
Well, as long as he's behind the line of scrimmage, he's still a quarterback and he can make a throw. If he crosses it, which he does there,
yeah, he was.
Now it's got to be behind, and that's questionable.
Yes,
but it's still fine.
But it's 42-6. And they're probably not going to look at it.
And it wasn't really. It was more kind of a even push. That's what we'll go with.
An even push.
Yeah, kind of like that lunch they had here at halftime.
I spoke too soon. He came across the line of scrimmage and then backed up and then tossed it.
It has to be behind him then.
Yes.
If he's behind the line of scrimmage, it can still be a pass, but it wasn't. He crossed it.
So they're going to look at this one. See again, line of scrimmage to 45.
Yep. So he crosses the line of scrimmage. Now he comes back. So he's declared himself runner. So,
and that looks forward even from there.
That's close, Kev. In the words of the old master, icy voice. Yes, probably. See, it's a little deceptive because he tails off backwards, and it looks like it's going forward even more. But take a look and see if there's anybody down there scribbling next to him, and then we'll know.
Yep, that was the tell that we got a couple years ago from Mike Pereira, that when the referee has a partner next to him scribbling in notes, then you'll know that this is about to get overturned. Dean Blandino is hanging out in our studio. He's been throwing his watch, just waiting for a chance to have another opportunity with us to break down something. So he crosses the line. He comes back. What are you seeing here, Dean?
After review, the ruling on the field of a completed forward pass is confirmed. Second down.
Completed forward pass.
So what they were looking at, once the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, you can no longer throw a forward pass. So they were looking to see if the quarterback had crossed the line. Even if you retreat, you still can't throw a forward pass. They ruled that he did not completely cross the line of scrimmage, and they let the play stand.
Do you like that call, Dino?
It's close. Remember, it has to be the entire body and the football. I don't think we had a great angle. Looked like he might have been beyond, but if you don't have that look down the line, it's going to be tough.
All right, Dean, thanks so much. So it's 2nd and 7. C.J. Saunders on the edge. Good tackle made in space by Keys.
Keys has played himself a pretty good game also, both in coverage and definitely a sure tackler. He's made some nice physical tackles. He's not afraid to come up and stick his face in there. You like to see that with a corner.
Second team offensive line out there. Tate Martell at quarterback. 3rd and 4 at the 39, and a stoppage in play and a penalty down.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Josh Myers. So the center with a false start.
Yeah, just a sophomore out of Mainsburg, Ohio. Looking to get some. Remember yesterday we were talking to Herb, and he said they need to get some depth, especially the offensive line. They need to get that worked out.
Third and 9. Martell in trouble. Martell is sacked. Cameron Sample doing good work inside, driving right up to Martell and bringing him down.
Well, they did a nice job of just powering. This is power right here. Look at the defensive end just come. Oh, that's nice. Nice job. Just good power and not a good job of that young offensive line.
This is what this second half is big in a lot of ways for Ohio State.
Sure.
They're trying to build that depth, and that offensive line depth is something that Urban Meyer and his coaching staff have been wanting to build. They like the pieces back there, but there's some real young guys out there. Fair catch made at the 10 by Jacob Robertson Jr. And Tulane will start deep in their own end after a 39-yard punt. November, her mom made cookies for people in the truck.
Because that telltale sign that it was a bunch of women who were there, because you see all the fruit there, not one good thing to eat, just fruit. But
we do wish them well.
Absolutely.
She had a shirt on that said, "Say yes to the Wes." She's marrying Wes.
My wife will give me a bowl of fruit as soon as I get home.
As she should. 2nd and 5. Banks back in at quarterback. Finds his leading target, Darnell Mooney, with the catch. Dante Booker on the tackle. That's a first down to the 30-yard line.
That play has worked well for them today, and what they're doing is play action away, come back to the backside on the slant. What it does is it moves those inside linebackers over, and it gives you a throwing lane. Get your defender on your backside hip, and it's a good throw.
Jonathan Banks with Mooney in motion. Protection, looking deep. Down the sideline, Okuda nearly with an acrobatic pick. Tolls the intended receiver, Jeffrey Okuda, who had one taken away with a penalty in the first half. Nearly got it back here.
Excellent coverage. Oh, nice shadowing. Now watch his eyes. Oh, that is, you know what, Kevin? That is picture perfect. That is really well done by Okuda. And then he skies at the end to try to make that pick. That's really well done. Out there on an island, no help.
Saunders down at the 48. Buckeyes with good starting field position again. 5:57 to go in the.
Needs to get his opportunities like a lot of these young guys do.
2nd and 7. Protection. Swings it to McCall, one-on-one on the outside.
Oh, nice
move by DeMario McCall. Oh my goodness, did Will Harper end up grasping at air as DeMario McCall put about 5 moves on him in the span of 3 seconds.
When a guy sets you up like that, just take your shot. Just take your shot. You're going to break down. Don't break down. You come in, use your angles, inside out, make the hit.
Third down and 6. McCall motioning out to the bottom of the screen. Olave to the top of the screen. Martell under backside pressure. Martell sacked. Ball came out. Martell fell on it. Patrick Johnson with the sack. And Ohio State will have to punt it away.
Yeah, he just beat him with speed, and that's just a freshman up there, that Petit Frere. I don't know how you say his name. Petit Frere.
Petit Frere.
Frere.
Petit Frere.
Petit Frere. He's not petite. We'll call him Big Frere. He's got to move his feet a little better than that.
One of those youngsters in that second team, a true freshman. High school just a few months ago. That'll bounce at the 5, and that's an excellent punt down to inside the 5 at the 1.
There's a bunch of guys out there.
Antoine Jackson out there in the middle of that defensive line. Nice snap. Banks, quick toss, deflected, and caught. How about that? It went off 3 Buckeyes. Now the ball's out. There's been no ruling yet. It was in the hands of Onkalad. And are they going to rule it a catch, an incompletion, a fumble, a first down?
I'm going with a catch.
It's a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Watch this.
Tip. It was a tip drill. Yeah, he definitely has the catch.
And he's down. That's a first
he's
down.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a catch. Williamson had a chance at it not once but twice. Jawson Wint had a shot at it. And then somewhere Onkalad in the whole mix just comes running in and makes the catch.
Yeah, and he's down and had control, so that's nothing at the end. Booker tried to pull it out.
At the 21-yard line. First down and 10, Tulane.
And that's 100% the right call. So kudos to the officiating crew. Got that one right on the field.
I think they've had a pretty good game. It's been an active game, which you don't like to see, but they've been pretty good with their spot on with their calls.
Tough snap to handle, able to get it into the hands of Hutterson, and Hutterson a yard to the 22. See, Corey Dublin and Jonathan Banks have a couple of difficulties today. A low snap, that one was off to the side.
Tommy Togiai is a powerful guy.
Number 72, the freshman defensive lineman.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he doesn't know yet, but when he figures it out, he is going to be good.
Greg Schiano described him yesterday as buck strong.
Yeah.
Hilliard on the stop.
Yeah, I want to show you what happens. So now he doesn't have the awareness of him playing inside yet. You're going to watch him on the inside. See, he's getting blocked down on. So that requires an arm under. But it has to happen quick. So when you're playing inside, your strength will help you a lot, but your quickness and awareness you have to develop.
Third down and 5. Onkalad in motion. Banks will roll that direction, looking for Onkalad, who makes the catch and leans the ball forward for the first down. Jawson Wint out there to make the stop, but that'll move the chains.
Onkalad, pretty savvy player. Pretty savvy player and a good football player. He's trying to tap out to let everybody know he's tired, and they're saying, who cares? Stay in there. You're the best guy we got.
You got Onkalad, you got Mooney, and only one other catch for anyone else today, and that's Jatavion Tolles, who has one catch for 12 yards.
Kevin, we were watching the film of these guys, and we they only have a few players who can make plays. He's one of them.
Play action, little pump, looking deep down the sideline. It is Mooney who makes the catch. And Mooney's got a first down inside the Buckeye 30-yard line, working against freshman Brendan White all the way down to the 29.
Yeah, so you try to isolate on a safety as much as you can. So they get Brendan White, and they have him isolated, and it's just speed. So you get a speed guy on a lesser speed guy, and this is what you expect. The separation's too much. White can't get there. Well done.
39-yard gain on the play.
And, Kevin, they didn't get any pressure that time.
Pressure's been a big deal for the Buckeyes. Another big play allowed by the defense. Not the 40-yard play, but about a 38er and a 39er allowed today. Corey Dauphine up the middle near the 27.
I thought they'd be able to get Dauphine in space a little bit more.
With his speed, you'd think that would have been an opportunity. He's had some long runs this year. 4 runs of 30 yards or more. Came in second most in all of college football, and that's a former Texas Tech Red Raider and a former state champion in the state of Texas in the 200 meters. He can run. This is Jones, and Jones is down at the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play. Tyreek Smith on the tackle, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3 in Columbus. A stalemate in the third. Nobody scored, but Ohio State still up with a comfortable lead. Go take the head literally off Brutus. There's a meat streak in you. Who knew? 3rd and 7. Pressure coming. Flag is down. Banks reversing his field. He's going to have the first down, and he's out of bounds at the 11-yard line. If it holds, it's a 15-yard scramble, but it may be coming back.
Holding. Offense. Number 64. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So Corey Dublin called for the hold. Negates the scramble and the first down. Willie Fritz, head coach at Tulane, talking with him earlier in the week. He said, you know, it's a process. This is a rebuild that we've got going on. They just wanted to get in here, compete, stay healthy, and then focus on conference play, which is coming up for Tulane next week.
Just doesn't have enough playmakers.
3rd and 17. Banks on the roll. Cannot find Onkalad. And that'll bring up 4th down. Troy Johnson and Jenny Dell continue their quest for the best food around the Big Ten. And this Tuesday, they'll show you more of their favorite places to grab a slice of pizza. Catch an all-new Campus Eats Tuesday, 10 Eastern, right here on BTN.
I see that show, and it makes me hungry. And then we come to these towns, and we can't find a place. Something's wrong there, Kevin.
I know. Well, Troy and Jenny need to join us on the road.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Because they know where all the food is.
Bart doesn't. Bart
No.
don't know.
No. Our producer, Bart Fox. Director Phil Malika, he's no help either. But what a day it was for Dwayne Haskins, whose day ended early, really only played 1 half. He was 21 of 24, 304 yards, 5 touchdowns. That gives him 16 touchdown passes through 4 games. Only Kyle Orton since 2000 has had more touchdown passes in the Big Ten through 4 games than Dwayne Haskins this year for Ohio State. I mean, what a start.
Yes,
for Haskins.
Phenomenal start. And next week is when the season. Now they've had a test.
Yes.
TCU was a great test. Now next week they go to Happy Valley with Penn State, and that'll be interesting. I believe that this Ohio State team is actually more talented than the Penn State team. But they both have a little bit of problems on the defensive side, just with eye discipline and discipline of scheme. But both teams offensively can score some points.
Well, both teams have quarterbacks that are playing at a very high level. Trace McSorley and Dwayne Haskins. I can't wait. That's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it will.
Here's Martell. Will sprint out. C.J. Saunders with the catch, and Saunders scoots up the sidelines for a few. Brings up 2nd down. Here's what's left for the Buckeyes, of course, at Penn State next week. Then back home, Indiana and Minnesota, back-to-back home games. A trip to Purdue. Nebraska coming in November 3rd. The Huskers reeling right now.
At Michigan State. Michigan State will play. Michigan State's well coached. They'll get better as the season goes on. And Michigan is starting to play some pretty darn good football. That defense they have can run.
Well, we saw them last week. We saw it again right out of the gates today in their game against Nebraska. Rashawn Gary and Chase Winovich are the 2 defensive lines. When those 2 teams meet at the end of the year, if you're a fan of defensive line play, that's a game you've got to mark in red on.
Because you don't see it all the time, Kev. Most teams, look, you and I, we go in and we sit, we watch film, and the first thing I say is they don't have a pass rusher.
Yep.
You look at these teams, you go, whoa, these guys can get after it. And that's rare in college football.
And they have multiple pass rushers. Martell on the sprint out, a little skip to Saunders. That's incomplete. And that goes back to recruiting. You're recruiting talent at all of these positions, and then coaching those guys up, making them better, and that's what both of those programs have been able to do.
So I'm watching the Penn State game last night, and the first half, what you saw was a lot of young mistakes, especially at the second level on defense. The linebacker play they weren't gap disciplined enough, and it showed. In the second half, they tightened it up. And they're going to have to be tight all game long against this Ohio State team, because this is a really athletic offensive line. You give this quarterback time, he will eat you alive, as we've just witnessed. And they have a good running game. Speed on the outside. That's going to be a nice matchup.
Third and 5 of the 48. 12:20 to go. 42-6 Ohio State. Martell, Prater with a catch and a first down to the 39. Let's check in with Rick Pizzo.
Kevin, this second-team offense desperately needed some success. I saw this coaching staff all over Tate Martell and company after they were unsuccessful in mounting much offense in the third quarter. They don't need him in this game, but the coaching staff knows they will likely need these guys at some point down the line. And finally, an update on Mike Weber. While he will not be needed for the rest of this game, likely would have been kept out anyway, he's back on the Ohio State sideline in street shoes and without his helmet.
All right, Rick, thanks for the update. Appreciate that. Down to the 36 goes Martell. Sample on the stop for Tulane.
You know, it's interesting watching young players develop. A lot of times you'll see it in practice, but you have to see it game tested. And you have to see them compete in the game. Sometimes it shows up and they do compete. And some guys are just better practice players than game day players. It's just the weirdest thing. It's usually from the neck up. But you want to see it week in and week out. Consistency is what they're looking for.
How do you distinguish if you're a coach? You've got a guy who shows up every Saturday, plays his tail off, but his practices aren't as good as his production in games.
Yeah, that's usually rare. Usually why that happens is just not a lot of effort. But you can see it. If it shows up on Saturdays, you can take that to the bank. If it shows up on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but not Saturdays, yeah, it's called a backup.
Yeah, probably not ideal, unless you play a lot of Wednesday and Thursday games. Yeah. Master Teague stacked up at the 34-yard line. Cameron Sample on the stop. Here's Nicholas Petit-Frere. You've been keeping your eye on this freshman on the right side.
Just watching. He's just a big man. That's really well done. So he's tall. I mean, Petit-Frere is 6'5". He's 6'5". He runs well. He can be physical, but he can also be athletic. I mean, there's a lot to like about him. He needs experience.
4th down and 6. Buckeyes will go as we slide under 10 minutes to go. On 4th down, Martell has time. And a first down up the sidelines and out of bounds to the 23-yard line. Jalen Gill with the catch. And the first down.
Yeah, and so now you're going to be man, okay? So he leaves, and so you have to look back inside. And part of the biggest part in the offensive line is communication. And then you have to have good eyes. You have to have good vision, because you know what appears to be what you got to block sometimes disappears, like you saw there, and then you go to the next man.
On first down, Master Teague with a carry. Legs taken out of him at the 20 by Kirshen. 4-yard pickup on the play for Teague. Another look on that offensive line at Petit-Frere.
Now he's going to block inside. The guy goes inside. Now what you want, see, he's still too high. You want him to be a little bit lower and then finish the block. And bury him if you can. Show a little bit of a mean streak in there, and that goes a long way.
Everybody in that second-team offensive line, though, Matt, is 6'4" or taller for Ohio State.
And athletic. And that's
big and athletic.
Yeah. And they're 300-pounders. So it's not like they're sticks.
2nd and 5, Martell in trouble. Martell able to scramble to the 18. Just a 1-yard gain on the play for Tate Martell. Back to our freshman spotlight with Petit-Frere.
Yeah, okay, so defend the inside, force him to the top side. That's well done. Now he needs to stay a little squarer as he's retreating. Get a little bit of a punch and a nice kick, but you can see what they like in the guy. It's all there.
Well, and with the tempo they play, that's the kind of offensive lineman they're looking for. Big, athletic guys who can keep that tempo up. Down to the 16 goes Master Teague. Because as Ryan Day told us yesterday, he said he's noticed late in drives with the tempo they play, the better shape that they have on the offensive line really starts to show up in those long drives. This is play number 14 of this drive on 4th down, trying to find a little running room. McCall pushing, and I think he's short.
Left or right foot, depending. Here's a guy coming in from on the top of your screen.
Looks to me like he's short, at least on initial mark if they use the right foot especially. And it is Tulane ball.
Ruling on the field. Runner was short of the line to gain. 1st down and 10, Tulane. Full media timeout.
7:45 to go in the 4th. 14-play drive ends on this play. DeMario McCall just short of the 1st. Jerseys in college football?
No, they were terrible.
Were they?
Yes, they were terrible.
Why were they so bad? Because as somebody sitting on his couch in the living room as a kid growing up, they were awesome.
Yeah, they were, because Nebraska had them, and you were a Nebraska fan.
They were tearing them. They were tearing people's jerseys off. It was great. Paris Campbell loved it.
Isaiah Moses' hip, I caught in the backfield and grabbed him by the shirt and went to throw him down, and it ripped off in my hand, and he gained 15 more yards. That's not right.
It's college football.
That's a tearaway jersey.
Well, you guys use Stickum a lot.
I use Stickum. Heck, that's Judge Hayes.
Looking for yardage to the 25, and stopped there. Keandre Jones on the tackle of Amari Jones. 1st down for Tulane. 6:50 and counting to go in this one. Justin McMillan back out there at quarterback. We saw him earlier in the game, the transfer from LSU.
Yeah. Interesting, Kevin, watching the Big Ten as the season's progressing to see. I always look to see who's getting better. And so this Ohio State team is a better team now than when they started at the beginning of the season. I think Penn State has gotten better than where they were at the beginning of the season. I think Michigan is better. I think if they played that Notre Dame game again, the outcome would be different.
From the 25, turning upfield. There's Dauphine with the speed, and now the sprinter getting loose. And Dauphine just tripped up before he could break free. One last opportunity to get him. And it was Cameron Brown who made the stop.
Yeah, so you just need a little crack and he can get it. He's got excellent speed, like you said.
38-yard play, so no 40-yard plays allowed by Ohio State today, but 2 38s and a 39.
Wrap your arms there also.
Dauphine breaks the Hilliard tackle and is down to the 34. So that last long run, again, remember, Urban Meyer has been stressing big play prevention.
Yeah, he's not too happy with that.
Up 42-6. But believe me, all of that will be discussed again this week, leading to Penn State.
Oh, they will know about it, yeah, by tomorrow, guaranteed.
And yes, it's the second-team defense that's out there, and yes, it's a game that's been decided for a long time, but 3 plays of 30 yards or more going to draw the ire of a head coach who was very concerned about big plays coming in. Coming up, Mike Stanley and Chuck will get you caught up with all of today's action. Our State Farm postgame report's coming up after the game. We heard from Mike Hall very early about Alabama, and Alabama pulled away, and Mike Hall went very quiet. Sentence that's rarely uttered. Mike Hall went very quiet. 3rd and 7. McMillan looking for a little room, and he's caught at the 35-yard line by Keandre Jones. Some of our week 4 standouts. Boy, Miles Sanders was terrific last night, helping Penn State come from behind Purdue. What a win today for the Boilermakers. 296 yards, 3 touchdowns. David Blau with an excellent performance. Karan Higdon back healthy.
Blau has been on fire the last few weeks.
My goodness. And he's going next week in a game you and I will be at to Lincoln to take on the Huskers, who are reeling.
Yes.
And David Blau's got to be salivating going to work against the defense that's had some issues.
Ron Higdon, of course, a week ago had to sit out. This week he came back
with
ready to roll. Yep.
On 4th down and 8. Good tackle. Robertson could not get away from Jawson Wynn, who stopped him short of the 1st down. And the Buckeye defense holds. The turnover on downs. Ohio State got a quarterback. 3:32 to go from the 30-yard line of 1st down. Martell looking deep. Had a man open for just a moment, but Jalen Harris couldn't quite catch up to it. It's another big-bodied young wide receiver, though, in Jalen Harris. 6'5", 215 pounds. Just a sophomore.
Long strider.
Yeah,
he gains ground as he goes.
Second down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Martell looking to the sideline. Olave coming back for it, and Olave with a 1st down move to the 44.
Yeah, they like Olave. It's easy to see why. See his hands, how smooth that was. He just boom, plucked it out in front of his body, put it away, come back to the ball. Watch this. Reach out, nice and smooth, put it away, turn back upfield.
He had to sit out his junior year. He transferred high schools, and Ryan Day was telling us yesterday that they actually were out recruiting a quarterback at his same high school, and one of the coaches said, you might want to take a look at this guy. They took a look at him. He ended up a Buckeye. Martell back and forth, zigging and zagging to the 49-yard line. 5-yard run for St. Martell.
He's like the human sewing machine, man. His legs are going all over the place, but you look up and he picked up 2.
The human sewing machine has never really caught on as a nickname for him.
Yeah, I know. It's a little too long.
Martell 9 of 12 for 80 yards. He has 21 yards rushing. Martell under pressure, able to get away. And then a little sidearm, looking for his freshman tight end, Jeremy Ruckert. That's a guy that the Buckeyes have really been anxious to see on the field a little bit more. One. Quentin Brown got underneath it.
No push on the inside.
Buckeyes looking to score the first points of the second half. Oh, Martell on the fake, and he will high step in for 6.
And that's just using your eyes. They're going to bite on McCall. You'll let them take the bite. Well, we said at the start, Kev, that it was a mismatch, and they proved it. And, I mean, everybody coming here today knew it.
The final tune-up before conference play resumes. Of course, already one conference game under their belt with a win over Rutgers a couple of weeks ago. Probably preventing a proper push-up.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
It's like we're in the warm-ups all over again. Amari Jones with the return out near the 25-yard line. Here, now Matt Millen breaks down a mascot's push-up.
Okay, so you see.
Look at his head.
He's only going halfway, okay? So put his head up, get your head up properly, and go all the way down. So he has to do 49 for the point scored. I'm saying he should do 98 because they're only half push-ups.
He's got a giant Buckeye for a head. I mean, you try wearing a giant Buckeye head. I just don't see, you know, I can't wait till he comes to your house, and of course he doesn't talk, but he's going to be very quietly looking askance at you as you do push-ups.
Well, I'll tell you this. I will get one of those bubbles they had at halftime and run him over.
Mascot Wars debuting this fall on BTN. It's 49-6, people. From the 25, Dolphin almost got a crease. Tripped up at the 27-yard line. No pickup of just a couple. Tackle made by Dallas Gant. Buckeyes deep into the depth chart right now, with 35 seconds remaining in this one. 419 passing yards today for Ohio State. 5th best single game performance of all time. The record set last year against UNLV. Jared Bertrand on the carry to the 29-yard line, and that will likely wrap it up. Only 7 points scored between the two teams in the second half, but the Buckeyes now 4-0, and Penn State looming next week in one of the big early season showdowns in the Big Ten Conference. That one will be a dandy.
Looking forward to that one, Kevin.
Ohio State and Penn State next week.
McSorley against Haskins.
And the winner of that game, Matt's going to have an early leg up in the division. We'll see if it's Ohio State or Penn State next week. Haskins and company getting the job done today. Rick Pizos with the head coach, Urban Meyer.
Thank you, Kevin. Getting Coach Meyer right now. Coach, you said your plan was to ease yourself back in today. You described it as perhaps being a game manager. How did that play out?
I don't know about easing into it. I don't know if I've ever said that.